This is Beer 30 Sports O'Clock. Oof. No mess. You know what that means. And this beer's episode, or this episode's beer, that's what that means, is the Humble Hero from Siren Rock Brewing Company. The Humble Hero is a Helles lager. The Humble Hero is a beer for beer lovers. Raise a toast to the hero, a hero, with this crisp malt forward Helles lager with a subtle sweetness. All right, I'm not reading all that. Listen. So they're based out of Texas. I want to say they're in Rockwall or Dallas, somewhere out there. I like the can. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of fits this March Madness this week. It fits everything that is going on in sports right now. So, cheers to the Humble Heroes. Okay, I'm rocking with it. It's 5.2%, so it's ought to be interesting. It's right at that level. It's not too crazy. Um, yeah, it's not too crazy. It's very good. I could see this either by the pool, or I could see this at a barbecue, or I could see this like on a heavy steak dinner kind of night. You know what I'm saying? Like this is it's not too crazy. All right, so let's get into it, man. Big shout out, obviously, to my favorite place. My favorite place to get all these beers. Yes, you know, if you follow the show, shout out to Total Wine, where you can get singles, six packs, kegs, party packs, mix and match, whatever you need. All your beer needs you can get at Total Wine. So shout out Total Wine. Big shout out to them. Uh, let's get into the news you can booze to. Sorry, y'all. I'm a little off today, man. Not gonna lie to you. This week was gonna be a hard episode to do. March Madness has begun, and the madness, it's been minimal. It hasn't been really crazy. At best for men's tournaments, it's been like, there was a couple of upsets the first day, which if you follow the bracket that I posted, and you know that I kind of saw that coming. Um, for the for the women's, it's been just straight up cut and dry. The best teams that were ranked in the best teams won, and they just absolutely dominated. So yeah, the one seeds are showing why they're the one seeds. They're showing them true selves. Not many upsets. Like I said, it's just been kind of been very bland. It's been very like, it's very chalky, as I've been hearing a lot of. It's very simple, to the point. The one seeds, two seeds, three seeds. Although St. John's did blow it. St. John's blew it against Calipari in Arkansas. And I listen, that game was kind of a toss-up anyway, because we didn't know which Calipari we were going to get. And unfortunately, I don't know why I thought that Calipari wasn't going to bring his A game against his old arch nemesis, a.k.a. the Vampire, a.k.a. Patino, who, had Rutgers St. John's looking real Big East, ready to dominate, things like that. But Arkansas, they put in work, and unfortunately, they're just in the SEC, where it's a gauntlet of teams that are really good. So they handled their business, and unfortunately, the SEC is dominating in the March Madness brackets right now. Again, I called it. There's only one ACC team left. There are no Big East teams left. I forget. I think Maryland. I'm pretty sure Maryland might be Big Ten. But listen, it's not looking good for anybody else but the SEC and maybe Duke. So Well, U of H, Big 12s, but they look like they were struggling too. I just, like I said, it's just not been a lot of craziness. UConn put up a fight. Florida, they listen. That game came down to the wire. I'm not gonna lie. That game was pretty good. I was nervous. I was nervous that my bracket was about to get busted up, and it didn't. Because Florida did what they do, and of course Dan Hurley did or does what he always does, and makes it about himself.
I hope they don't do that to you, man. I hope they don't do that to you, man.
Yeah, always about Dan. Dan is gonna let you know how he feels. Like he's become a big ass baby, man. I don't know what's going on with him. He's just become a big ass baby, and yeah, I don't know what to say other than that. We got to know him because of the back-to-back championships, and now he's just such a douche. Now it's just such over the top, and I'm the fucking greatest and all this other stuff. And he needs to dial it back, man. You need to chill a little bit. You've been acting a little too crazy. No need to put out all these. I mean, he's basically just clickbait. He's just doing all these little things to make clickbait. And in all honesty, you're a back-to-back champion. You don't have to do these type of things to get the program looked at. You're fucking UConn. Like, you don't have to do much, you know what I'm saying, with UConn, but just be a pretty good coach. And it's just, listen, you got beat. You fought well. Y'all showed the heart of a champion. But Florida won fair and square, and there's no need to act like a fucking child. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. Another thing that didn't make sense is the nail biter we got. We did not expect. Colorado State was not on my bingo card as far as running deep in the tournament, and they could have. They could have ran deep in the tournament because they were sticking with Maryland the entire way. They made sure that Maryland knew they were not going away. They were winning most of that game. They were winning most of the game. If you watched, it was going back and forth, but they were winning a lot of that game. And everybody, including myself, were clinched. We were clinched watching the game, bugging the fuck out. Like, how is this happening to us? Now, there was a little controversy, a little madness, a little craziness, and it was a travel or not saw across the world. So
one bucket to keep its season alive. Gillespie from the out of bounds to the freshman queen who's driving, floats it. Oh! Maryland on the right side of a buzzer beater with life into the Sweet 16.
Listen, did he travel? Was it a Euro step? I get it. I am not gonna lie. I thought he traveled. I thought they was gonna call travel. Looking at it, slowed down and stuff like that. It's the Euro step. If I was a ref, I don't think I could have called that either. I ain't mad at him. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, my God, man, that was a game. That was a good ass game. That was a very, very good, entertaining game, close game. Yada yada yada. Now, for the women's bracket, it hasn't really been any suspenseful or good games. They've literally been all blowouts except for like 2 games, and that Kansas State versus Kentucky, which was second round, and then the double overtime game between Maryland and Alabama. Maryland won, so both men's and women's Maryland will be in the Sweet 16. And listen, it hasn't been any nail biting. It hasn't been any close games. It's been very like we the best, y'all not. Sit down, little sis. And it's been kind of bad for ratings because it just, all right, man, we check out after 50-point blowouts, you know what I'm saying? Or we check out after 25, 30-point blowouts every time, and it's just been crazy. We were looking forward to a lot of the number ones and all that stuff like that going to the Elite Eight and the Final Four and the Sweet 16. Like we're looking. These are the rounds that's gonna start getting a little more thick, a little more crazy. Now, with all of that being said, like I said, I'm a day off. I've been traveling. I've been going I went to pro days. I was watching the games at the pro days, and stuff like that. So I couldn't do the show Monday night because I watched something horrific. Juju Watkins had to be carried off the court, man. My dog, my girl, had to be carried off the court. And later that evening, it was disclosed that, they say she tore an ACL. And like, man, it's just, I don't know what to say about it because it's like, man, like she is literally the star of college basketball, and everybody wanted to see the rematch with her and the USC and UConn. I mean, listen, they have their own without Juju, against Mizzou. I know there was some beefing going on at the end with the high fives, and it was, y'all was playing a little rough. Still got blown out. Still was a blowout even without Juju. USC did handle their business. It just sucks, man. It really feels like a gut punch for the women's basketball because this, like I said, is about to get real entertaining as far as like the teams, UConn and USC on a collision course, South Carolina, just like it was about to start to get some really, really good teams against each other, and we were going to see some great stuff. And I just know Juju was going to go crazy. So I'm in mourning right now, man. I'm in a glass case of emotions right now. I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't even know how to feel. Low key, I really just want to give a moment of silence for her. She ain't even dead, but I just want to give a moment of silence for her. I blame Jaden Daniels' mama. I'm not gonna lie. She should have just let them sit. No, let me stop. Let me stop. I know y'all saw that viral clip. Jaden Daniels and Juju were sitting next to each other, laughing and smiling and flirting, I guess, or whatever. I don't know if they were flirting or not, but they just looked like they were having a good conversation. And mama came and sat right in between them and said, "Pay attention to the game, boy. Pay attention to the game, ma'am." And so that was all, But let me stop. But injuries happen, and I can't really blame the girl from Mizzou. How they were going for the ball. It was very physical, yes, but it wasn't like it didn't look intentional. It was a basketball defensive move. Injuries happen, but if we want to be real, I really kind of feel like if you're looking at wanting to blame somebody, and obviously injuries happen, you can't really blame people on these things. But I'm looking at the coach. I had this discussion with my guest on the previous episode about the March Madness brackets for the women's sports and things like that. And I said it before, I felt it very odd that she played so many minutes. And she's always getting physically beat up. And UCLA, you could tell it was starting to, in the ACC tournament, it was starting to become a problem. Like she's playing literally 35 minutes a game. They play 40 minutes in a game. She's averaging only 5 minutes off the court. Bro, that's a lot to ask somebody. Now, she's 19. I get it. But she had just tweaked an ankle, I believe, the game before that, and kind of, she dropped 40, but, or a few games before that, she dropped 40, and it's like, oh, well, it's fine. It's not a big deal. But, like, if that was Cooper Flagg, the whole world, like, shut down when he sprained his ankle, and, oh, my God, she shouldn't play, to dial back his minutes, and all these things like that. But I didn't hear that for her. And I didn't see that for her with her coach and with everything. Listen, these first few rounds, there's no reason she should be playing 35 minutes. There's no reason she should be playing 25 minutes, 20 minutes. You're blowing people out. None of your games have been really relatively close. Trust your team to do what your team is doing. Kiki been balling too. I forget the other girl name, but they've been balling. Like, there's no reason for her to have played so many minutes. And again, I'm not blaming the coach. I'm just saying it's something she needs to look at for future reference, because the simple fact is she's too young to go to the league. She's 19. She got to wait till she's 22. Once she bounces back, which she will bounce back, will she be back this season, or will she be redshirted? That's kind of up in the air, because obviously, it's a big thing, man. Like, she put the city of LA on her back for for basketball in general, like college basketball. She wanted to bring back the hype, and she did. She was bringing back the hype. So I think, I don't know, it's sad, man. And I feel that, like I said, the coach, she needs to look at the minutes. Like, she on some Tom Thibodeau shit in the NBA, but these ain't grown men. These are fucking high school. Coming out of high school, college women. Like, bro, you can't do that. Like, nah. Anyway. Woo! I got simmered down, man. I've been hot about that shit since last night, and it's just been eating at me. Like, man, why is she playing so many minutes? Why is she, you know what I'm saying? And it happens a lot in women's basketball. Like, a lot of women, like, for instance, Paige, it's so crazy that Paige had a press conference talking about how she came back from her deal, and the coach from UConn and Gino was talking about it, and then in literally the last game, Juju fucking tears the ACL. Like, it's and I don't want to say she tore the ACL, but that's what it's looking like. Everybody's saying that, like, basically she tore. That's the news break that everybody's been saying. It looks like she tore her ACL, but we don't know 100% sure. But it's looking like that. Now, I don't know if we can move on. We're going to try to move on, and we're going to talk about NFL news. That's right. NFL is still fucking in the news and making moves, and people still signing. I don't know what the fuck is going on, man, but Jameis Winston is a giant. Jameis Eat-a-Dub Winston is a giant, and so is Russell Wilson now. Russell Wilson just got signed to the Giants as well on a one-year deal. I don't really know. They went from no black quarterbacks in like 10 years or something like that, starting the first game and, starting games and stuff like that, or being the majority starter, to now damn near the whole quarterback room black. I don't know. All I'm going to say is I see what they're doing. They're kind of building a bridge for, they're building a bridge for the next one, possibly drafting Shador, possibly drafting Travis Hunter, who knows. But, maybe that's what they're building on, is that they're going to build up a future and let the quarterback sit and, do it the way that some of the other great quarterbacks have had the opportunity to do it. Not the CJ Strouds, but like the Jordan Loves, that's really it right now. I mean, everybody else kind of getting thrown to the fucking wolves. Well, JJ, but we'll see what happens with him, because the Vikings have said that they're not really interested in signing Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers is basically out here like, fuck it, I may just retire, or I may just make Pittsburgh fucking sign me to a bigger contract. It's so crazy right now. Meanwhile, Stephon Diggs is seeing the Patriot way. He's gonna be a Patriot. I think it's 3 years, 20-something million guaranteed, 26 million guaranteed. At this point, I just feel like Stephon Diggs is just trying to get. He's just trying to get a bag where he can get a bag at and go from there. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Aaron Rodgers. I think that he'll end up a Steeler. I don't know what the Steelers are going to do, though, because they're going to have to draft a quarterback at this point. You let Justin walk out. You let Russell walk out. Maybe they are having a conversation about trading up and getting a quarterback and getting a Cam Ward so that Cleveland can't get him, or Shador maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Because Aaron Rodgers is not the answer for the long term. He may be a 1-year term kind of answer. And like I said, he may retire. He may just say fucking and retire. That's crazy. And only time will tell. So, I don't know. I feel like Aaron Rodgers kind of loves this attention and suspense, and the fact that he's not getting a lot, he's kind of like acting wishy-washy, pissing off Adam Schefter and all the other guys that are fucking trying to break the news and shit. He's like the last domino to fall, and just unfortunately he hasn't fell yet. So, I don't know. Now, sorry, I thought a burp was coming. I didn't want y'all to, I'd be trying to not burp in y'all ears so much. But before we get to the beer goggles, isn't it time for your daily fantasy app to pay you better? Well, download the Better app today and use code BEER30 to get better pays and better plays with your daily fantasy app. Download Better today. Now, it's time for the beer goggles of the week. And no, Dan Hurley is not on them because he was clearly drunk with rage and clearly drunk with emotion at his podium. I didn't even feel like playing that shit because, he's definitely a beer goggles nominee. This OKC is just taking this a little too far. These interviews, they be lit, and I really fear that one or two times they may have been drunk.
Isaiah, you guys went on that massive 18-0 run in that third quarter. What's happening out here when you guys are totally in tune like that?
Oh, man, we're just playing together as a team. We're out here, we play with energy, we play hard, we play for each other, and we think that's a recipe for success, and so we're going to keep rolling that way, executing the game plan.
4 threes for you tonight, and you seem to get them in so many different ways. And I just wonder, how have you managed to expand your menu from the three-point line?
Hold on, Jay, hold on. Just being versatile. The team does a really good job of finding me when I'm open, so I'm out there trying to make plays, play off the catch, and do what I'm supposed to do.
8 guys in double figures tonight. It's only the 4th time it's happened ever in OKC history. What's it feel like on the bench and on the floor when you have so many guys going?
Like I said, the ball has energy, and when they have energy on the floor, the bench has energy. So it's fun all the way around, no matter where you're at. We just like to enjoy the game. We do this every single day, so why not enjoy it?
You clearly do enjoy it. Thanks, Jay.
You look good, man.
Oh, man.
And he was so professional about it. It was so bad. It's like that drunk friend that you just letting talk and talk and talk. And you're like, bro, like, all right, bro, like, we get it. We get it, we get it. But yeah, OKC be having entirely too much fun. And I know that they enjoy it though. The interviewer looked like he enjoyed it, and it's just a lot. Now not so funny beer goggles. This is actually really wild. And this coach was clearly out of his fucking mind drunk. He had to be. Ain't no other explanation about this.
Seniors for an outstanding career. Congratulations as well to Coach Zulo. Came out of retirement to coach this Falcons team. 2 state championship appearances in 2 seasons. I think that's pretty good, Tim.
The big question is
an outstanding career. Congratulations as well to Coach Zulo. Came out of retirement to coach this Falcons team. 2 state championship appearances in 2 seasons. I think that's pretty good, Tim.
So I don't know what the fucking cheers to the young lady that stood up for her teammate, and like good on you for not allowing that in front of you. That was insane. I found out later that he was fired after that situation because, like, that's unacceptable. And, like, dog, what are we doing? Like I said, it wasn't funny. You know, on a lighter note, on a dark or heavier note, if you will. This is what I'm talking about when I say the old school coaching mentality. That it doesn't work. These are human beings. They're not machines. I understand putting them under pressure cooking them and stuff like that. But physically putting your hands on a man or a woman, and I don't think you would have done that with the boys team. Boys team probably would have handled that a little differently. But I do feel like I said, man, it just, you have to adapt. You have to change. If you're not adapting and changing, you are dying. And my man, from the looks of it, you're dying. I don't wish death on nobody, but I'm just saying, like, come on, man, that's crazy. Anyway, that was Beer Goggles of the Week. I swear I wasn't going to be too much on my high horse today, but I'm in a fucking mood now because of Juju's injury and shit, man. So, now, it's time for the six-pack of the week. I gave you a little longer drum solo this time. Oh, man. All right, so first up, Spider got spidey senses, bruh.
Surgical seeing eye feed from Donovan Mitchell.
Both Jazz players just a split second too late.
Oh, that's a pace on it, AC.
You sure did. I don't.
Bro, he could have thrown that as like a touchdown pass. That's crazy. This whole game was crazy because, like, every single person on that squad was everybody on the team was throwing passes, including Clarkson, who has been balling lately.
They're going to give Johnny Juzang a foul here, I believe, but Kyle Filipowski in rhythm.
What? I mean, he ain't even Clarkson been balling. That's 2 weeks in a row Clarkson's been on my six-pack of the week, man. Clarkson, he's just been going crazy. Next up, also my guy, again, this is a theme this week. My guy, Hurley with the alley. Man, from like half court.
Johnson got the shot blocked. Oh, yeah! Obi-Wan. He catches the ball and does a 360. Heck of a catch. Watch him throw the ball. Now watch what he does with it. He catches it away from the backboard, turns around, and slams it. I mean, this is a pretty incredible play. Some people just catch it.
Yeah, that was nasty. Hurley with the alley, and Obi been going crazy too with the dunks, man. Obi trying to. Did he go to the dunk contest this year? I don't know. Next up, man, is Miracle on Grass.
El que marca pasivo tiene que acabar rápido la jugada Antonella. Uy, qué sombrero Antonella y otro sombrero Antonella. ¡Qué golazo, Dios santo! ¡Qué golazo, Antonella, Romo de Ru! ¡Golazo de Pío!
Listen, I don't know what they were saying, but I was feeling it. I was hype about that because that was insane. She didn't even let the ball touch the ground. So crazy. Next up. Where the hell is my, where is it? While I'm looking for that. Next up is A Miracle on Ice. I don't know if I call it A Miracle on Ice, but the puck didn't touch the ice.
And then eventually it finds Thomas. 1, 2, and the trifecta right here.
How did they do that? How did they do that? People don't understand the hand-and-eye coordination it takes to play hockey. That's why I respect it so much because, my God, man, that is crazy. I'm sorry, I'm having some issues here. Oh, man, my sixth joint disappeared on me. Here we gonna do this real quick. Let's just pull it. See if we can pull it out. Where the hell is it? What in the world is going on? Oh. Well, I thought I had a sixth one, and it just disappeared on me. So, my apologies, y'all. Oh, here we go. I found it. See, just be patient. Last but not least, and yeah, this is crazy. Luka Magic is real. Luka Magic is real. And that, I apologize for the delay, was the six-pack of the week. Now, it's time for the conversations at the keg. Listen, March Madness has not been great. Yes, I know. Let's talk about it. I'm here for, I know, all we've expected for the March Madness are the deep runs and the stories and all these things like that. And I think we didn't realize that how much the NIL and the transfer portal kind of changed things. Not to say it was bad. Not to say it's been, it hasn't been great tournaments or great games. There have been some good games, couple of close games. Excuse me. Hasn't been a lot of upsets that everyone was expecting to see. I think the St. John's and Arkansas one was bigger than a lot of people like to give credit for, but it's just because of who the coach of Arkansas is, and Calipari is a fucking dog. But I feel like the Colorado State Maryland game was crazy. I don't think that, that we fully appreciate some of the smaller teams that made a quick little run. Drake, listen, unfortunately, there are plenty of storylines in there. McNeese, who, by the way, Amir or Khan is actually leaving McNeese to go with the coach who just got hired by NC State. See, and this is my point. When coaches do these things, it is not a problem. Coach leaves and accepts a job from McNeese to NC State, and it's not a big deal. Xavier's coach leaves after losing in the tournament and takes the Texas job, apparently. It's not a big deal. But when it's the players, oh, it's so bad. Listen, these things are going to iron themselves out. We've had this discussion on the show before. The NIL and the NIL and the transfer portal both are the reason March Madness hasn't had so much madness, but it's not a bad thing. The good teams are going to see each other. The best teams are going to face each other. And that's all we want. We want good basketball, and that's just what it is. Now, has it been great basketball? Not really this year, but I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that the coaches aren't putting in the effort to coach up these guys because they haven't fully adapted yet. And I think that the coaches, the recruiters, the whole staff need to start looking at themselves in the mirror and figuring this out because the talent is there. The talent is there. The dude the big man from Auburn, the guard from Houston. I mean, there was a lot of hell. St. John's, like, he sat his man down for the last 5 minutes, and it's like, I mean, at that point, I get it. I mean, at that point, I don't get it. It's the last game of the season. If he plays over his time, fine, but you're losing in a close game. He wasn't having a great game, but you need him out there as a threat. Maybe somebody else can have a good game. You know, he ain't played over the minutes in all year. It's kind of like, But anyway, I know I almost contradicted myself because I thought about that too with Juju, but Juju's averaging 5 minutes off the court. This young man is not averaging 40. He's not averaging 5 minutes off the court. He's averaging about 10 to 12 minutes off the court. So it's a lot of a difference. So anyway, we know more women stars too, by the way. And people say, oh, well, you know, the transfer portal, but women aren't transferring that much. We do have the Van Litts who moved from Louisville to LSU to TCU now, which, by the way, TCU is making a nice little run too. You know, she a baller. It is what it is. Whether what you feel about her transferring and stuff like that, she's just doing what the men do. So I mean, it's not really a problem for me. And it shouldn't be a problem for you. It's her decision, it's her career path, it's her sports, it's her, you know what I'm saying? It's her decision. At the end of the day, again, these things are wild right now. There's no real like boundaries about it. It's kind of just the wild, wild west. And I get it, you know, as a fan, it's hard to understand it because you want it to go back to the way where you fell in love with sports or you fell in love with the sport. But in all honesty, everything must change. And that is the one constant is everything will change. And I feel like the universe and the basketball gods and March Madness gods are going to get it all back to the same of when we used to love it again. But there has to be the scale was tipped so far on the other side for the coaches, equipment managers, and things like that. Really not equipment managers. Let me stop. But still, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we have to give this time to figure itself out. Is the product worse? Yes, in the first round or so. Sure, why not? I feel like the first day or so, had better games than the next round. So, I mean, it is what it is. But eventually, those teams, the good teams, the cream will always rise to the top. So let it happen. Let it happen. Let it happen. I'm off my horse. No more conversations at the keg. For those of you who have brackets, join my bracket challenge. Thank you. For those of you who have not, thank you anyway. But you're missing out on a chance to win your favorite beer 12-pack. This is the first year I did it, so it's a little off keel. I've been pulled in 50 different directions this year during March Madness, draft, pro days, all this stuff like that. Each of you stay tuned. I'm going to give my honest opinions and critiques of my interviews and the interviewer or interviewee at pro days and things like that. So stay tuned, subscribe, and you know, follow along. I'm getting the hang of this pro day stuff. But anyway, yeah. So that's really all I got, man. So I want to thank you guys and big shout out to everybody that's been hitting me up on the brackets and hit me up in the Juju news. Yes, I saw it. Yes, I saw it. I'm still mourning. I'm still in a glass case of emotion. She was my dog, man. She's my girl. Anyway, yeah. So this is Beer 30 and the Humble Hero. All right, I might crack into the second one.
This is a Stolen Water Media production.